This card is so bad. I'd rather shit on myself than use this as toilet paper. I'd rather damage the surface of a table than use this as a coaster. I'd rather freeze than use this and throw it in the fire. Now that's a shame. If you control a monster that is not an Infernoid monster, send this card to the graveyard. You can only use each of these effects of Rising Void once per turn. During each of your opponent's standby phases, you can tell how into this card I really am not. You can target one Infernoid monster in your graveyard added to your hand. So the effect that should happen during your turn happens on your opponent's standby. Now, is there an Infernoid that will be coming out that makes this effect make sense? Not to my knowledge. During each of your standby phases. I fucking hate seeing standby phase on cards. If it doesn't say each, I'm not about it. You can target one of your banished Infernoid monsters, return it to the graveyard. So they just expect us to play with this shit. Now, of course, it's all about options. And unfortunately, the options available to us, Reasoning, Monster Gate, Card Trooper, Light Sworn things, they do the job so much better, faster, and they're just much more flexible. And you can't even play those cards if you're playing this or the other continuous trap, which I understand, lock it to the archetype, I get that. But it would make sense if these cards weren't shitty. This card, like the other one, sucks. But I think this one sucks more because why the fuck you getting a card back to your hand during your opponent's turn when you're not really doing anything? You don't summon Infernoids during your opponent's turn because you can't. Why the fuck do I get 1/3 of Burial from a Different Dimension or even 1/3 of Miracle Dig? I could just play Miracle Dig or Burial. For these cards to not even, I can't even say for them not to be shitty because they're shitty. But this card, to even be somewhat considered, a few things are going to happen. They're going to have to like slow the game down dramatically. They're going to have to be like, MST's too powerful. We need to ban that shit. They need to just, anything that destroys spell or trap. Breaker, Lila, Ryko, Blaster, all that shit got to go. Do I see that happening? No. And on top, and even if it just had these effects and it didn't have that first line of text that sends itself to the graveyard, oh my god, this card is so bad. They would have to limit or even ban reasoning, which is convenient because just recently they put it to 3. I wonder why they did that. So I like to thank everybody for watching. I can't really think of any possible positive thing about this card. The picture looks nice. I found one. Before you go, I like to also ask you clicking that. I'm not going to stop asking that shit. Helps me pay man to rent to live in this motherfucker. And all I'm asking from you is a few seconds. I'm not even asking for your money. It's a rare occasion when looking at a card, I get a headache. And maybe because I like Infernoids as an archetype, but maybe I'm taking this a tad bit too serious. When you know you just look at a card that fucking sucks, you get a headache, you don't know why, this is exactly what happened. But I think it made for a rather entertaining video.